Wake up, Carolina. This isn't just another quiet day in the offseason. This is a declaration of intent from the Panthers front office. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in philosophy in Charlotte right now. Sources are buzzing, the hierarchy is shifting, and the blueprint for the future is finally being inked in permanent marker. From high-profile coaching acquisitions to massive financial commitments regarding our quarterback, everything is changing. You need to understand the gravity of these moves because they define the next 3 years of this franchise. But before we break down this explosion of news, I have one request. We are on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers. Smash that subscribe button right now and help us build this community.
Let's get straight to the breaking news that is shaking up the coaching staff. Confirmed today, February 12th, the Carolina Panthers have officially hired Darrell Bevell as the new associate head coach and offensive passing game specialist. This report comes directly from Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. And make no mistake, this is a strategic acquisition of the highest order. Bevell is coming in specifically to assist head coach Dave Canales, and more importantly, to accelerate the development of Bryce Young. This isn't just a hire, it is an insurance policy and a turbocharger all rolled into one. Now, let me switch gears and tell you what this really means. You look at Dave Canales, bright mind, great energy, resurrected Baker Mayfield's career. But he is still a young head coach. Bringing in Darrell Bevell provides a level of veteran savvy that you cannot manufacture overnight. Bevell has been in the trenches. He was the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks during their Super Bowl runs. He worked with Russell Wilson from day one. He has seen what an elite offense looks like, and he has seen what a disaster looks like. He brings credibility to the room. This is the Panthers looking at Bryce Young and saying, "We are not failing you again." Think about the disaster of the previous regimes. Think about the lack of identity. Bevell is known for adapting his scheme to his quarterback's strengths, not forcing a square peg into a round hole. He did it in Miami as the passing game coordinator, helping Tua Tagovailoa execute with lethal efficiency. He did it in Detroit with Matthew Stafford. The man knows quarterbacks. And for the Panthers to go out and secure a coach with this specific resume, with the title of associate head coach, tells me that Dave Canales is secure enough in his own skin to bring in a heavy hitter to help him run the show. That is leadership. This is about constructing a brain trust. You have Canales, you have Brad Idzik, and now you have the elder statesman in Bevell. This trio is tasked with one thing and one thing only, turning Bryce Young into the franchise savior we drafted him to be. It is a massive move. It shows that Dan Morgan and the front office are done with half measures. They are stacking the deck in favor of the offense. But if you think this coaching hire is the only sign that they are all in on Bryce, you are sorely mistaken, because the next piece of news confirms it with cold, hard cash.
Listen, this level of insider access and deep dive analysis isn't found anywhere else. We are digging deep into the Panthers front office strategies every single day. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and know what happens before it hits the mainstream, hit that subscribe button right now.
If hiring Bevell was the setup, this next story is the knockout punch regarding the team's commitment. In a strategic analysis published yesterday, General Manager Dan Morgan has effectively confirmed that the Carolina Panthers plan to exercise the fifth-year option on Bryce Young's contract for the 2027 season. This is a monumental decision. Usually, teams wait. They hesitate. They want to see year 3 before they commit to year 5. But Morgan is signaling to the entire league that there is no hesitation in this building. Let's analyze the business side of this. By signaling this now, the Panthers are creating cost certainty. They are locking in their quarterback for the next 2 seasons leading up to that option and then securing him for 2027. This is strictly a move to guarantee stability. We have lived through the carousel of quarterbacks: Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker. It has been a circus. Dan Morgan is ending the circus. He is planting a flag in the ground that says, Bryce is our guy. However, I need to look at this with a critical eye. Is this premature? Some of you might scream yes. You might say we haven't seen enough consistency on the field to justify locking him in for 2027. And I hear you. The numbers haven't been pretty. The sacks, the struggles, the size concerns, they are all still there. But you have to read between the lines. This decision tells me that the internal evaluation of Bryce Young is far higher than the national media narrative. The coaches see the tape. They see the processing. They believe that the failures of the past were due to the environment, not the player. This puts immense pressure on Bryce Young. The excuses are gone. You have the offensive line improvements from last year. You have Dave Canales. You have Darrell Bevell now. And you have the GM telling the world he believes in you financially. It is put up or shut up time.
This is the ultimate vote of confidence, but it is also a golden pair of handcuffs. The team is tied to him. If he fails, the entire regime fails. There is no plan B anymore. They are burning the boats and staying on Bryce Young Island. And because they are committing so many resources to the future, they have to make some painful decisions about the past to pay for it all.
We have talked about additions and commitments, but now we have to talk about the casualties of war. The NFL is a business, and business is about to get ugly for some veterans on this roster. Recent analysis suggests that the Panthers are preparing to cut ties with veteran quarterback Andy Dalton and tight end Tommy Tremble this offseason. This is part of a broader strategy to rejuvenate the roster and clear cap space for 2026 and beyond. Let's start with the red rifle, Andy Dalton. I have nothing but respect for Andy. He came in when Bryce was benched, he threw the ball well, and he looked like a professional. But let's be real, he is a luxury item we can no longer afford. If the team is exercising Bryce's option and bringing in Darrell Bevell to mentor him, do you really need to pay a premium for a backup quarterback who isn't part of the long-term vision? No. You save that money. You use that cap space to buy a pass rusher or a wide receiver. Dalton served his purpose, but the training wheels are coming off. Bryce Young needs to fly solo, without looking over his shoulder at the veteran. And then there is Tommy Tremble. This one frustrates me. We drafted him for his athletic profile. We heard about the blocking, the potential, the physical tools. But where is the production? Where are the touchdowns? Where is the dominance? It hasn't been there. The NFL does not wait for potential to develop forever. At some point, you are what your stats say you are. Cutting Tremble is Dan Morgan admitting a sunk cost. It is a signal that the tight end room needs a complete overhaul. They need a safety valve for Bryce, and Tremble hasn't proven he can be that guy consistently. This is the domino effect I warned you about. The hiring of Bevell and the commitment to Bryce necessitates these cuts. You cannot keep everyone. You have to trim the fat to feed the muscle. Dan Morgan is looking at this roster and saying, if you aren't part of the solution for 2027, you aren't staying for 2025. It is harsh, it is cold, but it is exactly the kind of ruthlessness this franchise has lacked for years. We held on to mediocrity for too long. Now we are cutting it loose. The roster is getting younger, the expectations are getting higher, and the margin for error is shrinking to zero.
This is a defining moment for the Carolina Panthers. Dan Morgan is not playing games. He is clearing the deck, doubling down on his franchise quarterback with a fifth-year option plan, and bringing in heavy hitters like Darrell Bevell to ensure the offense evolves. The message is crystal clear: adapt or get out of the way. We are building a machine here, not a retirement home for veterans who can't produce. Now I want to hear from you. Is cutting Andy Dalton the right move, or do we still need that safety net? Are you sold on the Bevell hire? Drop your comments below. Let's argue about it. And don't forget to subscribe. We are just getting started.